Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
Bring this. Donuts.
All right. All right.
And they're good to go whenever. So I guess.
Yeah, get them started.
You be staying there?
Sorry?
Stay in there?
No, you take care of your tables.
Alright, okay. Oh yeah, you choose. You go first. You got 5 cards, right?
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. All right, looks like we are in today. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Republic Duel, and welcome to the Avalon Championship Series. So, this is the first tournament of the kind that we are going to be doing here. It's just kind of a bit of a step up from the regular locals that we do, something fun for the community to try, and we're going to have some great prizes going on today. So, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Thank anyone who happens to be tuning in to take a look at this today. A lot of the players who unfortunately couldn't make it, we had a bit of bad weather last night. But that didn't stop the players today from coming on in. So without further ado, my name's Dave. I'm gonna rock, and I'm going to be your host for all of our coverage here today. In addition to the Twitch stream that you watch now, you can also check us out on the Republic of Duel Facebook page and Twitter. That's just facebook.com/RepublicOfDuel and twitter.com/RepublicOfDuel. After this is done, we're going to be having the matches up on the Republic of Duel YouTube channel as well. So if you do miss them now, don't worry. You can tune back in anytime to check it out. So with that, let's get right in here to the match. Today we're going to be having Miles Ingram versus Howard Noble. Two players who have been coming down here very, very often. Both pretty good players. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to be showing us here today. So on the left, we do have Miles, who's going to be running a Stellar Knight variant for us today. And Howard, who's going to be running Burning Abyss. So definitely excited to see what we're going to get out of this matchup. It is fairly common matchup. Both guys know what they're doing. They've played this matchup more than once, and like I said, I'm just really excited to get this started. So we are a couple turns in here already. Miles has his Alsam out to Howard's field. Howard is a turn player. He had these Graf and Skarm. They're just going to be going into a Dante, getting the strategy started. We are still in the early game, so not a whole lot going on so far. Just a couple of quick exchanges. Both players have lots of resources left. Yeah, so it looks like we got Dante out. No crazy mills, but we do have the detached Seer to get Virgil back on the board. So Howard looking like he's in a really good spot now. Gets the Dante to attack over the Alsam. And the Virgil is pretty much free to attack directly. Stellar Knights really don't run anything to stop that besides their back row, which Miles unfortunately does not seem to have a lot of today. We do, however, able to see a little bit of what's in his hand. Looks like he's got the Altair and a Raigeki, so he should be able to deal with Howard's field fairly easily. Howard sets the card for ending his turn, and there's the Raigeki. Does the field wipe on Howard. It's going to be able to get some effects off of his monsters there. Able to get one card back from Dante, and another card off the I believe it was the Skarm that was attached to Dante a minute ago. In addition to the draw, so really the Raigeki is not really doing much besides giving Miles an opening to make a slight push. He does summon the Altair, able to bring back Alsam and burn for another 1,000. Definitely looking like the right play so far. However, he does need to be careful of what that back row is, and it looks like it's going to be a Karma cut. So we do have... can't quite see what's discarded there. The guys have the graveyards over a little bit too far. But that is alright. You know, if you make a good play with Karma Cut or Wing Blast, you're going to be discarding something that's going to essentially even out the discard cost anyway. Burning Abyss, obviously one of the best decks out there right now because of reasons like that. Even their Disruption is able to further their game plan, which a lot of decks really can't. They really can't say that. That's what's really making them so good. So looks like we got the detach off there. Howard looking like he has a pretty good field going with the BLS just dropped now. Able to attack over, then attack again for 3,000 damage. And with that, that is going to be the scoop from Miles. So that's game one over right there. So both players go into their side deck. So while waiting for both players to finish their side deck in there, again, I would like to thank Midgard Gaming for hosting our event here today. If you haven't checked them out, they're located out here in Mount Pearl. You can check out their website on midgardgaming.com for more information on that. And like I did mention before, you can also check out our written coverage along with some few event photos over on the Republic of Duel Twitter and Facebook page. Alright guys, so it looks like we are almost ready to start game 2 out of this match. Miles just finished up a side deck in there, doing a little bit of shuffling. Howard looks like he's still figuring it out. Stellar Knights not nearly played as much as what they used to be in the last format. I know back in the format there before October, the whole big thing was Stellar Knights, Burning Abyss, and Shadal's. Now, unfortunately, Stellar Knights kind of got kicked out of the mix for Cleaforts, who definitely show quite a few more strengths that are going to benefit them in the game right now. However, Stellar Knights still not performing too bad. They did get 2 out of the top 32 spots at YCS Anaheim there last week. So, you know, in determined hands, they're still able to get the job done and able to get some wins for the players who do choose to pile them against all adversity. So definitely got to admire those guys for still putting in their work, still, you know, finding a way for a deck that many consider to be outdated or not really a good choice for big competition. And they're still putting the effort to actually make those decks work. One variant that we've seen a lot of lately is actually the Stellar Knight Burn. So that deck is very similar to the basic build, but runs a few cards like Ceasefire, multiple Battle Guard Howlings, and makes heavy use of All Sum, just to kind of get the opposing player's life points down as low as possible. Really, really useful in the Cleafort matchup, which is part of the reason why that deck is as successful as it is right now. So it looks like Ma's going to be taking the first turn there. He is going to be setting 4 back row before summoning his Vega. Looks like he did actually open with an Alpha there, so that really justifies the summoning of Vega without any other kind of play to make with that. No Deneb, which is really what you want there on the first turn you're playing Stellar Knights. And it looks like we have the tour guide from Howard, which is responded to with Emptiness, which does get MST'd. However, the Emptiness itself is actually not MST'd. It was the other back row that we had there, which was the Alpha. So by popping Alpha, that would eventually take care of the MST as well. However, let's take a quick look here. Guys still looking like they're figuring out what they want to do. Okay. Alright, so Howard is still the turn player here. His tour guide move did get a little bit stymied since the Emptiness did get a quick chance to resolve before the effect could go off. So play goes back over to Miles, who's able to attack over the tour guide, do a little bit of damage. And he's honestly, he's in a pretty good spot right now. Howard still does have a decently sized hand, but he does flip Soul Drain, paying us 1,000. Now all the graveyard effects are shut off. So Howard is going to be in a little bit of a tight spot there now. All the Burning Abyss cards do kind of hinge on their graveyard effects. They do still have the ability to special summon from the hand, but that's not really going to help them a whole lot if they can't get their card economy back through the graveyard effects. So really interested to see how Howard is going to respond to this. Looks like he is going to choose to bring out a tour guide. Miles may or may not have a response to that. He is checking his back rows. Do we have... Yes, looks like we've got a Stellar Nova Alpha. So he is able to stop not just the first, but the second Torgai play as well as dig one card deeper into his deck. Howard responds there with a special summon Rubik and set back row, which looks to be... I believe that's just a Fire Lake, which did get MST'd in the end phase. So now... Oh, there we go. There is the... there's the all-important Deneb, who's able to really get Miles' Tellarknight engine going. Looks like he's searching out Altair, which, again, that's the obvious choice, just because the plays you can make with Altair are just... They're just so good, especially once you get your graveyard done up. Once you get like a Vega in there, you can really make some big pushes without losing any card economy and all. And that's kind of what gives these Tellarknights their edge, in addition to their great consistency, of course. So back over to Howard. Looks like Howard just tributed the Rubik for the end of Anubis. Really interesting side deck choice for Howard to be running here today. 2500 attack Dark Monster. Hasn't really seen a whole lot of play since way back in like the Apprentice Monarch format, which was probably 2006. I believe it was 2006 when it was used to kind of stymie the Mystic Tomatoes and Apprentice Magicians and all that fun stuff. So definitely going to be a bit of a tricky card to get over. Miles looks like he's trying to use his Altair's effect, but Anubis is out, which definitely puts him into a hard spot. So Miles really out of options here with how to deal with that. Just passes back over to Howard, and there goes the Altair. So Howard again really coming back from a rough opening and controlling the game using that side deck card. And we're back over to Miles. Looks like he has the Stellar Knight Al-Sam, able to burn for a little bit of damage. He does have one back row set. If he can manage to get this end of Anubis off the field, he might be able to get back into this game. And yes, he did. He actually was able to compulse it back to his hand. And because Howard has two back rows down, he's not able to special summon any other Burning Abyss monsters at this time. So definitely a bit of a relief for Miles to be able to get his engine back up and running, while Howard just has to end his turn with that. So now we have the Ulkai or something like that. That's the one card I can never pronounce, no matter how hard I try. If you know the correct pronunciation for it, please let me know. I'll see what I can do for you. So he does send the Deneb to the graveyard. Howard flips Emptiness. I guess he does not want Miles to go into an Xyz summon at this point. Not really sure how I feel about that play there. Because really in this case he's going to want to push for as much damage as possible to get Howard down and just to be able to make one small push to end the game. Going kind of condensing your resources into an Xyz may not be the best choice when your opponent has two back rows down, but it looks like that's not going to be happening now anyway that Emptiness is up. So goes back over to Howard, who just sets a card. Back over to Miles, also sets a card, and he's still making those pokes with these Tellarknight monsters nonetheless. The Al-Sam does get Book of Moon, which takes out Emptiness as well, and then the Ulkai does attack, who gets Wind Blasted. Oh, so Howard does survive by the skin of his teeth after that, but no, it gets wiretapped. Oh my God. Really nice comeback there from Miles. So at this point here, it's gonna be very difficult for Howard to get back into the game at this point. Miles does have a good established field. Howard just lost quite a bit from getting that Wind Blast wiretapped, unfortunately. So he does have only two cards left in his hand. We do have the Al-Sam summoned back up again for another 1,000 burn. And now that Emptiness is not up anymore, Miles is able to overlay into a monster. Looks like he goes into Cowboy, and is that going to be game? Yes, it is. Alright, so it looks like Miles wins the game too, and it did have the Magic Cylinder down as the other back row, so it does look like he's playing the burn variant. So with this, both players are currently at 1-1, so it's definitely not going to be a one-sided match like it looked like after the end of game one. Which I always like to kind of see the games go back and forth a little bit, see both players get a chance to kind of, flex their card playing muscles and show us what they're worth. All right, so both players are going to be siding up a little bit here. No, actually, it does not look like they have much else to put in. They're just going to be going straight into Game 3. Howard starts off with a Summon Tour Guide, but, oh, Miles does have a Flying C. That is going to shut down any first turn Dante play. And no, it does not actually look like Howard is going to resolve the Tour Guide and get his monster raved. So he's in a bit of a rough shape as Miles sets for a back row, summons an Altair with nothing in grave, but just being able to attack over the monsters and put on some pressure is going to be pretty useful here in this situation. Alright guys, so now that round 1 is just finishing up, we are going to be having our first guest commentator in here for today. So Jeff Edmonds, who's a local player here, is going to be coming on and giving some thoughts and opinions on this game today. So hello Jeff.
Are we on here now?
Yeah, we are about to be on in just a sec.
Hello.
Yeah. Alright. So as I mentioned before, so we got Miles and Howard. Obviously, you know Howard for quite a little while now. Good player.
Yep.
You didn't see the first 2 rounds, but Howard took round 1 pretty well. But Miles did come back in round 2 by just controlling the game completely. What are your thoughts on it so far?
Oh, not bad.
Excellent.
We got Burning Abyss and
Burning Abyss and the
Satellar
burn
Knight.
variant of Satellar Knights.
yeah.
Yeah, so definitely a bit of an interesting matchup.
Ooh.
The burn element doesn't do a whole lot. Looks like the Altair is attacking into the Skarm, and that might just be the wall that Howard needs to be able to build up a field and come back from the game that
Howard-
Miles has been dominating for the first half.
Howard currently has no hand either.
No,
I
he
think-
doesn't. So he's relying just
Should
on
be
what's on the
alright.
field, and only 1 Burning Abyss, so no really nice fire late comebacks at this point.
Looks like that Flying Sea almost ruined him for.
Yep, that definitely shut him down. He really needed that first turn Dante to go
Ooh.
off. And now we got a
He already
Deneb
has-
putting
oh, yeah, he
Miles
had
further
Deneb with-
ahead.
Yeah. Deneb with reinforcement to get another L tier.
Yeah, not looking good for Howard so far.
Unless he has an amazing answer in the back row there.
Let's hope. We did actually see end of Anubis in the last game.
Oh, he sided
Yeah.
that in, did he?
Yeah, he did. He actually sided that in, and it proved him pretty well till it got compulsed. Looks like Miles going to be going into
Going
Nick
for here
C's.
now.
Oh, good choice. Castle able to get rid of that Skarm
Well,
without...
I hope he has. Does Howard have an answer?
oh,
Howard
no.
does not have an answer.
Looks like the Skarm's gone and no effect, so no future tour guide plays coming out of that.
And the 4 back row for Miles is
That's
very intimidating for a tour guide if he does pull one.
It is, and especially Miles is main decking Wiretap as well. So if he does have one of those down, at least one of the traps Howard has is not going to really do a whole lot.
Looks
in
like
his
Howard
case.
got. Oh, he has a tour
Oh,
guide.
he did get the tour guide, and it gets Flying Seed.
Oh,
Oh no!
another Flying Sea. That's hard.
No.
Oh, this game is. What's the life at here? Do we know?
No, players don't have the life in view right now. We are going to fix that
This is
later
gonna
on
be-
today, though.
This is going to be a lot of damage unless Howard has something.
Yep. Altair is going to stop Castal from attacking, though, which is the only thing that that's really looking good here, and there's that's really slim pickings.
Oh yeah, he can only attack with Altair.
Yeah.
Probably go for an XYZ. Attack first and then go into.
Yeah, that
Main
does look
phase
like his best
two.
play. He should just attack over the tour guide